Hello everyone, I know I'm a new face. My name is Neha. I'm 17, I'm from New York, and I'm here to share the gospel with you for a week. So let's get into it. So today's gospel is a gospel from Luke, and it's readings from chapter 24, verses 35 to 48. And this was a great gospel reading. So I just want to give some context before we specifically go into this gospel. So we're at the end of this gospel, meaning Jesus has died. Jesus has resurrected. Mary, Martha, and Mary Magdalene are telling all the disciples that he's not in the tomb. And all this chaos is breaking out everywhere because many people are coming up with different theories as to what happened to Jesus. And in this, two of his disciples are actually walking on this road called Emmaus, and they're discussing these topics. They're just like, man, can you believe what's happening? And what's so interesting is Jesus actually is walking like right behind them, and he's like, what are you guys talking about? And the disciples are like, you don't know what's happening? So they're explaining everything that's happening, and Jesus is like, okay. And they're like, can you believe what the Messiah had to struggle through? And Jesus is like, yeah, let me explain. And then he starts speaking all the scripture to them. And the disciples, this is something so beautiful. They're like, their hearts kind of felt this fire in their hearts, but they still didn't recognize Jesus but because the scripture was so good. So they called Jesus over to their house for dinner, and this is when they realized that was Jesus. When Jesus broke the bread. The breaking of the bread is the moment where the disciples were like, what? This is the Lord. Like, oh my God. So I just found this so beautiful. Like the fact that their hearts felt this fire when Jesus was breaking the bread and when scripture was explained to them. I just found that really beautiful. So after this, once they realize it's Jesus actually disappears. Like he goes away and then reappears to them actually a couple of hours later. But a couple of hours later, they don't recognize him again. Like Jesus appears to them and they're like, who is this? Is it a ghost? And they're terrified. And Jesus is like, I was just here a couple of hours ago. Like, do you not see the piercings in my hand? Like, look at them. I am the Lord. And this really hit home because oftentimes Jesus is standing right in front of us. He is standing right in front of our hearts. He's knocking. He's like, Neha, let me in. And he calls you by your name. He's like, beloved, let me in. I just want to love you. I just want to show you how good you are. I just want to give you my heart and let you know I died on the cross for you. And he just wants us to see that love, and he wants to be with us, but we are so distracted by our struggles and distracted by everything around us that we fail to recognize this.